Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about an educational thinker. The educational thinker that I chose was Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. Did a great deal and had some great ideas for what we would even consider today part of the modern education system that we have. So first, I'd like to go over a little bit of a biography. Jefferson was born in Virginia. Some of the major actions that he had, he did kind of author the U.S. Constitution. And in his later years, he served as the third president of the United States. He had some major notable non-political achievements as well. One of which being starting the University of Virginia and actually naming West Point as the military academy and getting that up and running. So we'll go right into a few of the educational ideas that Jefferson had that are actually also in the brochure that I built as well. So one of the first ones is Jefferson believed in kind of like a four-structure system of education. In that four structures, you have you have like an elementary school education or an elementary education. This was kind of designed to build some social setting and foundation for students. Also, he believed in the second being grammar school. So grammar school would be, learning a set system, a foundational system of reading, writing, math, sciences, things like that. The university level was his third, and we see that play out with the University of Virginia. And then the final is like a lifelong learning. So learning, life is it's ever changing and things are constantly evolving. And I think that life learning is something that a lot of us do kind of take for granted. We're always trying to, whether we know it or not, we're always trying to learn something to stay ahead of the curve. So, the second educational idea of Jefferson that I'd like to emphasize is he truly believed that the American experiment was only going to be successful if people were educated. That's kind of a powerful statement, really, or a powerful idea. And I really do believe that is very true. A lot of us can kind of see that, especially in today's age. And then the third educational idea, Jefferson did believe that education was like the fruit of freedom. So we, by learning and gaining more knowledge over time, we are kind of carving our own existence. We're taking advantage. We're taking some sense of mastery over our own destiny. So these are three of the educational ideas. Now I'm going to roll into some of his educational influences. So one influence left behind of the Jefferson legacy is the University of Virginia itself. The University of Virginia would later go on to kind of lay the bulwark of what his beliefs were on education. So very neat, very cool. Also in 1779, Jefferson authored a bill called a Bill for the More General Diffusion of Knowledge. This was kind of putting in his idea of structure for education. Also, this was more of a kind of like the groundwork for his thought on the four structures of, or four pillars of education, so to speak. And then in 1802, Jefferson established West Point. So those were kind of the three major educational influences. Jefferson established West Point because he felt the military, a strong military should be educated, which I can't think of anybody that would disagree with that. So We're going to look at some critiques real quick. So one of the big critiques comes from a UVA graduate by the name of Andrew Shaughnessy. This is also in the handout. He talks about the legacy of the University of Virginia when it comes to slavery in the Civil War, how the University of Virginia, or that legacy, that major legacy of Jefferson's, is kind of tarnished, or historically they believe it's kind of tarnished because the University of Virginia led to the education of so many Confederate generals. That's a critique. I don't necessarily know if that's what the critique I would go with. But for many, I'm sure it doesn't make sense. One of my own personal critiques on this one is I think that Jefferson's idea of his 4 structures of education, I think it is great. I think that Jefferson himself was very much so a classical learner. And kind of tied to that, there's a few quotes that I actually found doing some of the research on this that he kind of praises that idea of the classical education. For that, I think that kind of actually goes against his idea of lifelong learning, or even the idea of like the American experiment idea of them, it will only be successful if people are educated. I think classical education at the time, probably, 100%, but with our world ever evolving, student needs constantly changing, I don't know if we can essentially fall on one major idea or plan for education. I think everybody's just very different. Everybody learns very different. So those are really my critiques, or that's my critique. And really, with Thomas Jefferson, 3rd president of the United States, there's plenty of critiques that can be brought around, whether that be politically or non-politically. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.